from my heart.
Here in London or all over England, Pret a Manger, the restaurant basically, is offering this super deal on coffee. In other words, for £20 per month, you can have all the coffees you want, up to 5 a day, for 20 quid a month. So that is a super good deal, especially for people who drink a coffee a day. Now, if you had 5 a day, that would really mean that you were pretty much got your money's worth in one single day, and you could have 5 a day for a month. But anyway, who's going to do that? However, it got me thinking. Lots and lots of people, including myself, signed up to this deal. Signed up, and even the first month is free actually, by the way. So for the first month, basically you go to the coffee shop, you scan your code, and you've got free coffees. Like I've had, I don't know how many free coffees and free juices. And people, including me, are going a little bit further, because it's not as near to me as other coffee shops. People are going that little bit further to get their free coffee, to get their free juice. And it got me thinking of when things are free, how we like to take advantage at times, obviously, and rightly so, because it's value for money, and we live in a world where basically money at times is short. However, yesterday I went to Oxford, and the first thing I did when I got to Oxford was, because it was 2 hours of bus journey, is I looked for the coffee shop. Where is this Pret a Manger that I can get a coffee? And of course there were two very near, and I got my cappuccino, again, free cappuccino. However, another thing I did when I got to Oxford as well is I looked at where there was a church, and there was an oratory, a Catholic church, and there were even confessions there at 6 o'clock. And I happened to meet this really nice priest in confession, really encouraging, really understanding, and it definitely was Jesus that put him there. But it got me thinking. The Pret a Manger, you see, is free. The coffee is free, at least for this month. But how blessed we are as Catholics. Any city, any town, any place I can go to, or you go to, all over the world, we can go in and there will be Mass. Not only will there be Mass, but there will be confessions at some stage as well. And confessions are always free. You've never heard of having to pay to a priest or pay a priest to go to confession. And the graces there are phenomenal. And it got me thinking, if we as Catholics, and if the world all over really knew better perhaps the healing power of Jesus through the priest in confession. Now the priest sometimes is a bit like a barista at a coffee shop. Sometimes he's impatient and sometimes he's not so nice, but the cappuccino still tastes good. That's the same thing with the priest. The priests, some of them, can be grumpy, can be irritable, but when they give you that absolution, graces enter your soul. Now you mightn't be conscious of graces entering your soul. Just like when you drink a coffee, you're not necessarily conscious of the caffeine, but you do notice that it helps you to stay awake. And by the same token, when I went to confession, for example, yesterday, I felt last night I had a really good night's sleep, and this morning I got up and I did my run faster than ever, and I even added on an extra 2 kilometers, basically effortlessly. Now I know in my heart and soul that comes from grace. That comes from something supernatural that God is doing in me and through me, through the power of confession and through the power of Mass. But you see, my prayer would be basically that people would flock to go to confession, that people would flock to go to Mass, just like they're flocking now to go to this Pret a Manger to get the free cappuccinos and the free coffees and the free juices. And so basically, Jesus is calling us basically to being apostles of the sacraments, to live out of the sacraments, to let the sacraments live in and through us, and through our witness, to bringing the power of the sacraments to others. And just like people like me sometimes go out of my way that little bit further to go to the coffee shop, the people will go out of their way and they will go that little bit further to get to Mass, to get to confession, to get to Jesus. And so maybe it's you, maybe Jesus is convicting you, and maybe he's saying, you know what, take full advantage of this Pret a Manger offer, get as many coffees as you can, but also take even fuller advantage of Jesus' graces, take even fuller advantages of the power of the sacraments, of the power of confession, of the power of Mass, and go regularly, go out of your way to go. So may the power of Jesus and the power of the sacraments be alive in our hearts, be alive in my life, be alive in your life, and may they be something real and tangible to bring the healing power of Jesus to people all over the world with all sorts of mental problems, spiritual problems and physical problems. And may the Catholic Church once again become a beacon of light, of hope, of healing, of energy, of joy that the whole world can see.